Hi, this is Denise Matthew, and welcome to the 8th episode of The Energy of Emotion. Today we're going to continue to explore the emotionally defined solar plexus and discover how emotions are expressed through the second individual channel, the channel 3955. In our last episode, we talked about the channel 1222, as well as how the hanging gates 12 and 22 express themselves. Today we'll talk about the individual emotional channel 3955, how it differs from the other emotional waves, as well as how the energy shows up when the gates 39 or 55 are hanging. With that said, let's get started and discover a little more about the energy of emotion. As I mentioned in the last episode, in human design there are two individual emotional waves, the 3955 and also the 1222. The 3955 connects the root to the emotional center, and the 1222 connects the emotional center to the throat. In the last episode, we did a deep dive into the channel 1222, so today we're going to focus on the channel 3955, the second and last individual emotional channel. We've already learned that the 1222 channel has direct access to the throat, and because of this, when you carry this energy, there's potential for you to be more verbal about your emotions, your creativity, as well as your individuality. We also know that the individual channels are all about the individual and the expression of self. So when we talk about the 3955, the first thing that can be said is that the channel is found quite far down in the chart. So that means that the energy doesn't have ready access to the throat center, and instead it has to work to make it up to the throat. Now, if somebody has defined channels that help the energy get to the throat, then this energy can be expressed more easily, and that frustration that comes with not being able to express their emotions can be somewhat mitigated. The truth is, many people don't have channels helping the energy flow, and for this reason, when the words don't come easily, the energy of the 3955 can express itself with outbursts that may include physical expressions of their emotions. As I said in the last episode, both individual emotional waves, 3955 and 1222, have what's considered high highs and low lows, and are also considered big waves. In other words, there can be extremes in both ends of the wave, where there can be rapid highs in the mood and just as easily a quick drop in the mood. When we look at the 3955 channel, we can see that it's connected to the root center. So emotional energy is connected to adrenaline energy, or what's considered the energy to get things done. When we're talking about the energy of the defined root center, we're talking about what's called pulses that can click the energy off and click the energy on. And when it's connected to the emotional center, it can work in tandem with the emotions. In other words, emotional energy can affect the energy that someone has to do work and projects. What that means is when someone's on the low side of their wave or in a blue period, they may have a difficult time doing the projects and things that need to be completed, even if they have a deadline. In actuality, the defined root center always has clicks off and on, or energy to do work and then energy not to do work. But when you have an emotional component added as well, you have a wave affecting the pulse of the root center. And one more part of the channel 3955 is that the connection with the root center means that there is adrenaline energy that is connected to the emotions, or adrenaline energy is trying to push the emotion up to the throat where it can be expressed. Once again, the concept of the energy not having access to the throat means that this energy can get bottled up. And since adrenaline revs us up, this buildup of emotional energy can blow outwardly and also inwardly. I'll talk about how that can show up a little bit later. Like all emotional energy, there's always going to be a need for clarity. That means that trying to track your emotional wave and the patterns that it may or may not have is helpful for making the bigger decisions in life. After going from the highest part of your wave to the lowest part of your wave, you can determine if a decision feels right for you or not. It's called your emotional authority, and if you want more information, you can check out my authority video. I'll leave the link below. When someone has emotional authority, oftentimes many of the decisions that are made are decided upon when the person is on the high side of the wave, or when everything feels amazing. But later, when the wave drops and the bliss is worn off, a lot of people will realize that they have roped themselves into something they don't want to be a part of. For this reason, waiting to find clarity before committing to things might be the best gift someone with an individual emotional wave can give themselves. Just like the 1222, as well as being deeply emotional, the energy of the 3955 is profoundly creative. Unlike tribal energy that usually requires a trigger to become activated, individual energy goes to the beat of its own drum, flowing in whatever way it wants with an end goal of expression of the self. The 3955 channel comes with an abundance of passion, mutative ideas, as well as tension and provocation. And when you carry this energy, you can be a gifted teacher as well. It's called the channel of emoting and can be alchemical in its expression. Some might consider the channel 3955 less volatile than the 1222 channel, because there isn't ready access to the expression and articulation as there is with the 1222. But like all powerful feelings, the energy of the 3955 needs to be released, and like a volcano erupting, it can be expressed with physical outbursts. Alternatively, the emotional energy can be focused inward, and this can turn into emotional eating as a way to numb emotions. And in response to the lack of control they feel within themselves, they can try to control their environment, and this can lead sometimes to hoarding. People who carry the energy of the 3955 can be provocative in what they say or what they do. The high side of the provocation is to restore things to the flow and return to the love of spirit and the idea that if we surrender to a force bigger than us, we will be provided for. But of course, that isn't always the way the energy manifests. The low side is provoking people for sport. Because the theme of abundance is so strong in this channel, people who carry this energy, who are not surrendering to a bigger force, can have issues with abundance. This can manifest in lack or too much of a good thing, which can lead people to grab at anything in an attempt to manifest abundance. When things don't work out, it can leave them even more indecisive and fearful. Trust and faith as well can lead to massive abundance, while fear and anxiety can lead to lack. But when this energy flows, this is where musical and artistic creativity, the kind that doesn't use words, lives. This energy can have you walking on air in excitement one day and in the pits of despair the next. And because of these shifts, it's great to find people who are like-minded, who actually get you. The way you can deal with the low emotions is to let them flow, to allow yourself to feel, knowing that it's all part of the wave of your emotions and that there's nothing wrong with you. And it's always nice to remember that when you're on the low side of your wave, creativity abounds, and some of the most pivotal and expressive work known to humanity was created with a state of melancholy. With the pulse of the root center in the emotional wave, there may be a small window of opportunity to find the perfect conditions to create. Yet what can come out of this energy when all switches are on can be life-changing as well as mutative. Because when someone carries this energy, they are here to break the status quo and inject their own mutation with an end goal to restore the flow of life. The gate 39 is auditory, mutative, and individual. It's also where the provocation of the 3955 channel resides. Even if we don't believe it, the provocation from the gate 39 is needed. It's here to restore our belief in the abundance of spirit and also our need to surrender to the universal energy and the path and direction it will show us. If we're being honest, the provocation energy can make people uncomfortable because it forces them to change their beliefs and to look beyond what they see right in front of them. With provocation can come tension. So when someone carries this energy in a prominent part of the chart, like in the incarnation cross, they can have issues with tension that can show up as migraines, muscle tension, teeth and jaw clenching, tight shoulders, and overall body tightness. The theme of tension comes from energy that doesn't have an outlet. Massages and physical exercise can definitely help release the tension. This is a very creative gate with possible musical talent and a passion for creating. This energy can be that of someone who's an eager shopper who is always on the hunt for a bargain. Because when you carry this energy, there's potential in finding comfort in having a full pantry or fridge, and alternately discomfort when the pantry is empty. There can also be a fear that you might run out of something, so stocking up may give you comfort. The true purpose of the gate 39 is to push others out of the belief that there is not enough, and into the understanding that the universe is vastly abundant, and that scarcity is an illusion because there's always enough if we truly believe there is. When this energy shows up in its highest form, it could be a dedication to offering endless support and relief to others. The gate 55 is called the gate of spirit or the gate of abundance. This energy is all about trusting the universe. This is the gate of abundance of spirit and is beautiful, powerful, and world-changing energy. This energy is all about feeling your way into the flow and knowing that if you truly believe in a higher purpose and a universal truth, that you will always be supported in life. Even though this energy encourages us to let go and let spirit work through us and show us the path to abundance, when you carry this energy, letting go might be one of the hardest things that you can do. This energy is all about doing whatever you can to manifest abundance, but when you've done everything you can, then it's time to leave the details of how the abundance comes to you in the hands of a force that's much bigger than you. Truly believing that if you let go and allow the universe to work on your behalf may be a hard sell, but believing it can make all the difference in the world of somebody who carries this energy. This energy doesn't play games, and the theme of trust and surrender is intertwined within this gate, and sometimes the bearers of this energy must hit rock bottom to see that sometimes not doing, not controlling, and instead allowing is the source of all abundance. This is powerful energy that is a lifelong lesson that continues to pop into your life until you get it. And when you get it, and have the faith and courage to understand that life is limitlessly abundant, you can reap the fullest rewards and potential that this energy can bestow upon you. There's no denying that the channel 3955 is heavy energy. But like the old saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. And if you understand the energy, truly understand it from the depths of your being, the profound changes that can happen in your life can be unimaginable. So that's all for today. There was a ton to unpack, and I hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything to be said about individual energy, it's profoundly impactful, powerful, creative, as well as being frustrating and not for the faint of heart. But it's also very much needed in our world. I hope you'll tune in next time when we start talking about the collective emotional waves, beginning with the channel 4130, how it shows up as a channel, as well as how it can look when you have hanging gates 41 and 30. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.